KFC's recipe of 11 herbs and spices is famously secret. In fact, so secret, it might be stored in a nuclear bunker in Sweden. More on that in a minute. Well, I don't know if it's that secret anymore. I mean, you could always Google it. Or this is a tin of KFC copycat seasoning. I must say it is completely unofficial. If you're the Colonel, please don't sue me. But seriously, in this tin is supposed to be a legit copycat recipe of the actual seasoning that they use.
A long time ago, Colonel Sanders created KFC's original recipe fried chicken with its blend of 11 herbs and spices.
And for reasons which I will explain later, I truly do hope this is the real deal. But what better way to set the benchmark at breakfast time? Who wants Rice Krispies? Why don't we head to actual KFC? Here you go, it's time for breakfast.
I can't wait.
All right, so we're off to KFC. It opens at 10:30, and this is the restriction of my knowledge of KFC. I didn't realize they don't do like a chicken breakfast meal, which could be the dream. It's gonna be really interesting to see if we are literally the first people queuing up for chicken at 10:30 in the morning. There it is, KFC. Ah, can't smell chicken yet. Oh, there's a lot of cars here. Right, okay, this is exciting, Hugo. Well, we've got half an hour to kill. It's only 10 AM. Turns out the drive-through is not open.
Yeah, because they're servicing the freezers.
Yeah.
Oh, machines.
Take out?
Yeah.
I'm going to take out.
So what are you getting?
Chicken? Did you get some chicken? Sharing bucket. Boneless bargain. Bargain bucket. $15.99.
It comes with chips, that one.
Does it? Oh, right.
Just chicken.
Hot wings.
Original recipe.
Yeah.
6 or 3, please. Or 12.
12?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, let's go 8. I'm hungry, but I'm not that hungry. Fancy more? Right, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Alright, you go.
Spy cam.
I've ordered a lot of chicken.
There you go, have a great day, guys.
Now that is what you call fast food.
Alright, so here we go. And what's better than one KFC bucket? Oh, crikey. Can you tug the bottom of that? Yes.
Hey.
Ooh. Okay, I'm quite hungry now. Now it's here. After you, Hugo.
This is like the first batch of the day. Oh.
Yeah, we have to keep some for colour comparison. I like the smell.
It is so hot.
Hot, peppery, intense. I love the colour. Something to go by. Okay, I now want KFC for breakfast every day. I've only had about 10 KFCs in my life. The chicken is super juicy. It's nice and crispy. It's not too overpowering, but the pepper is the main thing I'm getting
That's
from
what
it.
I'm tasting. Like, what's this 11 herbs? I mean, it's just pepper.
Yeah, what is it? That's what we're going to try and master and clone. Not only the taste of this, the texture, a little crunch, not much, but the juiciness, the moisture in that chicken. I really like that.
You can literally just see the pepperiness on it.
It doesn't feel as greasy as it used to be. Let's get back home and try and make a homemade version of this. All right, so that was a fun trip, eventually. I've got 2 buckets. One, hopefully, might even sketch a mini Barry on there. Don't know. Only Phoebe was here. She's amazing at art. Can you draw?
Absolutely not.
Brilliant. I mean, it's going to make it look realistic, right? Aesthetically pleasing. Did you have any other thoughts on it?
The crunch was really disappointing.
Yeah, it was. There wasn't an amazing crunch on it. I'm loving the colour. Again, even now, I mean, this is kind of cold now. It's a bit tougher now. Wow, that's really tough. That's like eating a chicken shoe. But actually, now it's cooled down, I can really see the specks of black pepper on there. It is really, really standing out. And that is the one dominant scent I'm getting. Pepper, massively, and it's addictive. It's very addictive. Right then, my fellow Colonels, let's get going. The smell, oh gosh, it's so peppery. It's very addictive. Look at this video I found, right? This is actually how it's made in the factory. They're shaking it up, the dredge mixture. They reckon they do it up to 7 times to coat it. I'm not doing that, but check out this pile of seasoning with the chicken. If I pause that, this video claims the 11 secret herbs and spices is potentially this recipe. Basil, sometimes my nickname, celery salt, which has never been my nickname to my knowledge, paprika, along with ground ginger, which I really wasn't getting that taste that much, black pepper, and then MSG.
MSG make everything better.
Cheers, Rog. But I do think with the MSG in there, like, I want to eat this. I didn't want it, but there's an addiction to it now. I want to have more. It's a lot tougher now, as we found out, so let's make our own. And in fact, I've already started.
The previous day, which is basically another way of saying yesterday.
Hello folks, it's 7 PM at night and I'm filling a bowl with some buttermilk, which other than brine is up there with the really recommended thing for marinating chicken. I actually like to add garlic powder to it, salt and pepper, like the 80s girl group. Stirring this through. But I've done a video before where I've marinated chicken and not marinated it, and the difference. I've never done brine though. If you guys are like fans of that, please do let me know. And now I'm just sticking the chick in. Nice big drumsticks. I think drumsticks are actually my favorite thing to have as fried chicken. It just feels like a chicken lollipop effectively. Just coat that nicely. Just make sure it's fully submerged in there. Oh, I know it just looks like raw chicken in yogurt, but I promise you this is such a big difference to the final texture. And both of our homemade versions tomorrow will have this. In you go. Oh. So the fridge is its hotel for the night. See you tomorrow. Oh yes, folks, overnight with that marinade. I'm not getting it out yet because I want to start that 6-spice mix, but I think the MSG is going to do a lot of work. All right, so it didn't give you quantities, so I'm just going to try and do like roughly equal amounts. So we've got the basil, we've got the celery salt. In fact, actually, I want to try that. Wow, celery salt literally does taste of celery and salt. Ooh. Paprika, the ginger, the black pepper, and the MSG. So let's just spin this around. Nice. And in fact, just as a little spoiler, look. Let's see if it looks any different. Oh, that actually looks quite similar. Look at that. Okay. But the ingredients on here, as we'll talk about in a bit, are very different. Now, actually, the most common ingredient in this KFC, other than the chicken, is flour, the dredge mix. This is about 250 grams of plain flour. There we go. And it is crazy how similar this looks to that spice mix. I'm just going to blend it all in now. So hopefully it should dissolve and go a bit more fainter in color. But this is basically what our chicken is going to sit in. You wouldn't think once you fry it though that it's going to be like hopefully that sort of more golden color that we saw earlier. Like, I mean, for example, how does that go to that? Well, we're about to find out. All right, let's get this out of the fridge. Oh my gosh. Hopefully it will stick on there enough to grab so our seasoning just latches onto the chicken. We kind of don't want to overdo it though. I've got a rack here for it to rest on. I'll just show you maybe one or two because this chicken is actually going to be with our secret mix as well. And this is really fun because I'm trying to do this with, oh, there we go. Taking it out and letting it just drip a little bit. See how it's kind of like clung on there? Look at this, right? That's good, right? And then if we just drop it in, I normally press it with a little bit of force. May the force be with you. Sure, that'd be a good line for a film. And then just like lift it on. Now with like doing like egg washy ones as well, you can sort of do it back and forth a few times. You've just kind of got to make a punt for it. But the times I've made fried chicken before, I normally find that like one bit like this is good enough. And then I just rest it onto a wire rack over to one side. Now I'm going to do that with one of them, but the rest I want to put it in almost fresh. And for that, we need a new tuck. So folks, let me tell you a story. It's not a very exciting one. See, down here is tuck. It's called tuck because of, well, fryer tuck. Many of you have asked me that. I haven't used it for a while because basically, well, tuck's broke, but I did replace it. Let me introduce you to... Yes, as I went out last night, I bought some chicken. I also bought this brand new fryer, which we will call the very original name, Tuck 2. But that's gonna help us fry our chicken. Oil is gonna go in it. All right, first time using this fryer, so I'm gonna just take it up to like the minimum line. Oh no, we'll go a bit more. Why not? I can always nip out and get some more oil if we're desperate. Although that's still a massive area left, but I suppose the volume of the chicken that's about to go in should make or break that. All right, here we go, Tuck 2. Do not let me down. Okay, so one thing with the dredging with the buttermilk, it is a little bit more maneuverable. So sticking it on the baking tray like we did back there, it can kind of stick to it. And in fact, because I'm trying to make a few at a time, I've got a little solution. So what I've done is I got a smaller bowl with some of the seasoning, and if any of these bits touch the side, it could peel off. So they're sat in a little bit of seasoning to sort of just hold it. And for the last one, I'm just going to do 4. I've left it just sat upright, just on the bottom there, literally in the seasoning until we're ready to go. Because the minute that hits, and this includes the fryer basket too, if it hits that wire, it will just latch to it. So we want the oil hot, which I believe it is now. We'll sit it in there. Oh, hello. All right, let's see if I can demonstrate that. This is straight from the bowl, and see how that hits. We lie it in slowly. There we go. I'm gonna get a bit overconfident here. I'm gonna put another one in. But just by doing that, it hits the oil to sort of start to fry immediately and gives it hopefully a surface rather than wrapping around the grids in the basket. Okay, so that's turned the volume down a little bit. It's quite loud, but it's working really, really well. It's just about getting that color right now. Putting the lid on has lowered the volume by about 10%, but increased the safety by about 250. Oh my gosh, look at that color. That's amazing. Look, it looks absolutely outrageous. Our second batch now, which I think I did a touch darker. If you drop it in slowly, it does not stick to the fryer. Look at that. But how will this taste compared to the original? All right, so let's just first of all just show you the color wise. It's quite, oh my gosh, that's pretty darn close, isn't it? It smells incredible. I could bake this and rewarm it. Gotta be honest, I've already had 3 pieces of it since making this video. I want to eat this fresh. I'm gonna do that now. First thing I want to say, the chicken is juicy, it's tender. I would say actually, it has got a little bit more crunch in it. And disappointingly, I'm missing a little bit of the pepper in it. Juicy, can you see that? It's like falling apart. Do you want to try some?
I'd love to. This feels proper crispy.
Boston's down here dancing, bless him.
That is pretty decent.
Yeah?
That is really, really good.
I would say it's very similar, but we're missing that sort of peppery kick. So let's hope the copycat stuff can be worth it. But there's a bit of controversy, isn't there?
Indeed.
All right, folks, here's the thing. I thought I got myself a fairly good bargain with these spices. At the time when I bought them, they were £11.81. I think it's varying every day. But then I saw the postage. £17.33 because these were sent from North Carolina, USA. So these better be worth it. So 11 herbs and spices, right? Paprika, white pepper, black pepper, celery seed, so that's celery salt, garlic, oregano, basil, mustard powder, ginger, and thyme. We've got some of those in that mix we just made, and it was, other than the pepper, fairly close to it. But that is not 11 herbs and spices, that is 10. However, in the packaging that came with it, it said to mix the dredge with some salt too. So does that mean that the 11th herb and spice is salt? But that led me to look at the website and go, hang on, what's going on here? Because when I click on the full description, got fantastic reviews, but the materials, aka the ingredients, paprika, onion powder, celery seed, so the salt, sage, garlic, allspice, oregano, black pepper, basil, marjoram, nutmeg, and tomato. A whole tomato, dried tomato, dehydrated tomato ground up, maybe tomato powder. That's 12. And that's not in there, so I don't know what's going on. So I want to still try this, but like it's led me down this really crazy route of trying to find out where this has originated, and I think we've struck it. Yeah, because if we go back to that video that I found where it had that spice mix, 6 herbs and spices, which did a good job. I think I would add more pepper next time. It suddenly jumps to this. That's a random bloke on the right that looks a lot like Colonel Sanders.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
And on the left is a handwritten note. And Hugo found something out about this, right?
Indeed I did.
Check this out.
So according to KFC, only 2 people are given the recipe at the same time, and they can't even travel on the same plane together.
That's like James Bond stuff.
And also, they have a physical copy in their headquarters, then they also have a second physical copy in a nuclear bunker in Sweden.
That's amazing. I love that.
And they have 2 production companies that make the seasoning. One half does with the other one half does the other half. And
then they bring it together?
Yeah, and they bring it together, so then they both don't know it.
Oh, mixing the 6 a minute ago was a lot easier. But that piece of paper that we just saw you on the video with that person that looked like the Colonel.
Well, that was actually leaked by the Colonel Sanders' own nephew in 2016.
So that bloke is his nephew?
Yeah, and the list was jotted down by the Colonel's wife on the back of a will, and apparently the Colonel used to say that the ingredients stand on everybody's shelf.
Okay, so they're like general easy ingredients to get hold of, but the Colonel Sanders' wife on her will wrote down basically... So that's it. So is that like a bit mean of his nephew to do that, to just release that recipe? But then again, his wife, if she left it in the will, then well, it's a free-for-all. Is it not so secret after all? However, that list of ingredients on that piece of paper is exactly what is in that tin, apart from salt, which it tells us to put in it. So this could be the real deal. And there's only one way to find out. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Well, I found that absolutely fascinating, folks. It feels like there could be like a rom-com about the whole story of KFC spices. Maybe it already exists. I gotta be honest, this does look like the real deal. It smells a lot pepperier as well. But of course, it did say to add in salt. So let's do that. And if you're enjoying this video, I found out the other day, 60% of the people that watch my videos, and this is regularly, 60% of you aren't subscribed. Now, someone suggested to me that might be that you watch on a TV. So if you are, grab your phone, hit subscribe if you want, because I've got some quite exciting videos coming up. I can't guarantee one of them won't be a rom-com about KFC spices. But seriously, nuclear bunkers, split recipes at headquarters, nephews giving away your recipe, your wife doing it as well on her deathbed. Unbelievable. Hugo, is there like a documentary about KFC spices on the off chance?
Let me find out.
The only thing visually I can see is the oregano and the thyme possibly. There are some more green specks. Here we go.
Yeah, so there are documentaries about how KFC operates as a whole, but in terms of just about the spices, there doesn't really seem to be that much.
All right, so let's crowdfund a rom-com about KFC spices. The
colonel that never loved me.
Let's make some more chicken. Hey, I'm getting really into this now, folks. You know that total eclipse of the heart? Turn around. Every now and then I like to guard 11 herbs and spices from my recipe. No, that doesn't make sense, does it? What about the power of love? Because I am your recipe and you are mine. No, look, this is what I'm doing. I'm shaking it off. I'm not going to do a Taylor Swift pun, but look, a little bowl there just to rest it so it doesn't stick. It's sat in more powder for the time being. That way we can go again. Oh, yes. And like I say, you can double coat it if you want, but you'll end up making it crispier and the buttermilk will start going everywhere. You get lumps and things. But again, straight into there like that. I'm never gonna cook again. Spicy recipes got no secret. Oh my gosh, why are so many KFC power ballads? I'm not releasing that as an album, don't worry. There we go, 3 in there, plenty there. And remember to just smooth it out a little bit so it's got a nice little landing area. One more that we can just leave in here. All right, I'm gonna just do this one-handed to try and show you this. Look, if we lower it, let it hit the oil. See this? Lower it. So that is creating a crust already, slowly, if you're confident enough. Don't have to if you don't want to, but just by slowly lowering it like that, should stop it sticking to the basket. Well, it did for me. Well, I've got to say Tuck 2 is having a solid debut, but it's just a shame it's so loud even with the lid on. All right, here we go. This camera might not do it justice, but we'll get Hugo with a B cam in a sec. Look at this, 4 pieces of chicken. The color, again, nice and consistent. Let's see what this is like. It certainly smells more peppery. Like, can you see the speckles of pepper on it? Like, that is absolutely outrageous. Let's give this a try. Damn it. Oh, that's peppery, all right. And I'm sorry to say it, KFC, that's got a little bit more crunch than it did this morning. But that is, it feels complete. It's got like the whole taste there. I think even more, I would like some more peppery notes in it, but it's noticeably different. It feels like even.
Right, let's do this, shall we? Oh yeah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Better than the second one?
Better than the second one, but I'm not sure. It's just missing something for that KFC note.
Well, a very relevant thing that we put in the second one, MSG, right? I stumbled upon this article a minute ago, and it basically said that a KFC employee, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of MSG, insists that there is some of that in their secret herbs and spices recipe now. That is in there, isn't it?
That's it. That is it. That is genuinely it.
That's just elevated all of those herbs and spices that have been put in that tub.
Oh my gosh, that is just amazing.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. That is obscene.
That is KFC.
The one thing I feel like I want to do now, I want to do a follow-up to this video and maybe be like, what is the ultimate fried chicken recipe? Like, do we put MSG in the mix? Do I just do my paprika and pepper one? Are there other ones? Like, but still within the fried chicken bracket. But for cloning KFC, this, I'm sure there are other versions available, has actually nailed it based off of that slip of paper, right?
Indeed.
Right, cheers for watching. I'm all chickened out. Foul play. Look out for the KFC documentary coming to Netflix soon. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Hey, what? It needs one more thing. Hey, that's better. What a day.